what is going on, Slayers? Craig over here again over at Merchant Service Slayers. Got another good video for you all today. I hope you guys enjoy it. Before we jump into it though, please do me a favor. Go ahead and click like, share, and subscribe. That way we get this information out there to more people. Also, go ahead and ring that bell. That way you get notified every single time we come out with one of these fancy new videos that we're getting out there to y'all for free. All right, guys? Okay, so let's get this party started off. So today what I wanted to talk about is closing techniques to help make the close easier at the end of the sale. I have a lot of people that I train out there on merchant services and sales and just any of that stuff in general. I deal with a lot of different varieties of people, from people that are just getting out of high school to college kids that are going through business courses, all the way to people that have been in sales for years and years and years. And I find a lot of the time, they just don't really know how to close properly, or they try and save the close for the very ending of the sale, which I think is wrong. I like to constantly be closing throughout the entire sales process because it almost desensitizes the merchant to the close, makes it easier, and kind of makes them expect it when it's actually going to be coming to the end to get them signed up. Okay, so I want to break this down into three different things. First off, starting the close at the very beginning, stating the agenda, into discovery, and then also into a green light. Second portion is going to be always assuming the close. And then last but not least, it's being sold yourself. I actually have a little bit of a saying I have. It's about having enthusiasm. Well, what's the last four letters of enthusiasm? It's IASM. I am sold myself. So we're going to cover all of that real quick. Okay, guys? So let's start off with the first topic. So I start when I'm closing right out the gate. So in my sales process, introduction, all that stuff. And then I lead into stating the agenda. Stating the agenda, I have another video on it. You can check that out. I'm not going to go all the way through it this time, but I'm basically telling the merchant exactly what my sales process is. And I'll have them include a link on here so you can see the stating agenda video. That way you guys know exactly how to do that. But at the very end of me stating the agenda, I let them know that at the end of it, if everything makes sense, if everybody is on, in agreement with terms, that I'm going to ask for their business, and I'm going to ask them right then and there, is that fair? And, fair is a varying term for everybody, so they're going to agree with it, right? They're thinking of their own version of fair in their head, and so they'll agree, yes, that's fair, Craig. You didn't say anything that's not fair, right? That's my very first go around at like almost a trial close, or letting them know that I'm going to pitch them until I close them, sort of a deal. So right out the gate, probably within 5 minutes of being in a presentation with these individuals, I'm already kind of asking them for their business. Now, the next thing that I jump into is discovery. Now, I didn't come up with this next part. I don't know where I got it from. It's from a book. I've read a lot of psychology and a lot of sales books out there. I don't remember where I got it from, but I've done this time and time again, and it works every single time. So we own a credit card processing company. It's called Go Free Payments, right? At Go Free Payments, we lease equipment. Don't call me the devil. I get it. You guys probably like it, dislike it, whatever. Don't really care. Moving on from that. One of the things that comes with a lease is that there is a insurance fee of $5 a month that businesses have to pay if the sales agent doesn't get the business insurance or get the equipment covered by the business insurance, right? And so I lead directly into my discovery presentation, okay? So when I'm going into discovery, I'll let the merchant know after I've stated the agenda, I'm getting ready to go into discovery, hey, before I get started with this, y'all have business insurance, right? They say yes the majority of the time. I say, that's great. I'm going to need that information to go ahead and get your new equipment covered underneath your business insurance. Can you do me a favor real fast? Can you get me the information for that? Can you get me the policy number, who the policy is through, the phone number for your agent and your agent's name? That would help me out a lot just to make sure that I get this equipment covered underneath your guys' insurance policy. You don't get billed that extra $5 through me. Okay, well, what did I just do right there? Well, right there, I'm already telling them that I'm going to earn their business. This is now like the second time I've done this, by the way. Within 10 minutes of knowing them, I'm already 2 closes in, essentially, right? I'm desensitizing them to the close. Another thing that I'll add in there during my discovery phase is I'll go ahead and ask them for referrals. A lot of people don't like to do that. They like to wait until they get it installed and stuff like that and then ask for referrals. You have to think about it this way. The buyer thinks that you're going to go ahead and probably give them more if you go ahead and get something from them right then and there, right? They think that you're probably going to give them a better deal, a fair deal, right? That term doesn't really exist. It's not real. Fair and better is a term that all of us have something for in our mind. So when they come up with that in their head, there's not really a number associated with it. So you can still quote your original price, But what you're going off of is a psychological reasoning of, hey, look at this individual did something for me. I'm going to have to do something for them. That's what they're thinking. And so the way that I'll pitch that out there is, hey, before I go through this presentation, obviously I know that I'm going to save you 90% of your processing fees. We do cash discounting strictly over at GoFreePay. So I know I'm going to save you 90% of your processing fees. Do you know anybody else that would like to save 90% on their processing fees? What's their name and number real quick? Do that right at the beginning. Do that right at the beginning. The people that answer that are going to sign with you because they think that they're going to get a better deal off of you because they've given you something already. And so that's a very, very strong thing to do right there. Now, let's fast forward. I'm out of my discovery phase. I'm going into an actual trial close. By the way, I've already technically, let them know I'm gaining their business 3 times before I even have got to a trial close, right? So now I'm jumping into the trial close. Now I'm going to let them know that, hey, look at, a lot of people do that. If I could, would you? I don't normally do that. Inside of my presentation packet, since we only do like cash discounting, I have a cash discounting receipt, one to where it actually gets built into the line item, true cash discounting, right? I have a dual pricing example of receipts, and then I also have a surcharging example. Now what I'm doing is a multiple choice close in a sense right here, and I'm also transferring ownership over to them. And so what I'll do is I'll say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Merchant, there's 3 ways we run this program, okay? You can either run it as a cash discounting way, and I'll show them the receipt. It's in my presentation book. Or you can run it as a surcharge, right? Or you could also go ahead and run it as a dual pricing method. You've probably seen it at gas stations, where they have the ticker outside and it shows a cash and credit price. It just shows that you're displaying 2 prices at your business and the cash price is at a discount. Which way would you like to do it? By the way, I've signed up a lot of your type of businesses, right? So if they're a restaurant, I'd say I've signed up a lot of restaurants, and if I owned a restaurant, I would probably go with the cash discounting. That way your waitresses and your waiters' tips don't get messed with. Or I would go ahead and say, hey, look, I've signed up a lot of auto shops. I'd go with dual pricing. It's just going to be easier for you because you're going to have labor involved, and you can say, hey, look at, your cost entirety, is going to be X, or if you pay with cash, it would be this, right? So it'd be easier for an auto shop. What I'm doing throughout this entire presentation is I've positioned myself as an expert. I've positioned myself as confident. And I've also went ahead and said, hey, look at, I've signed up a lot of other businesses like yours in your industry that have your average ticket that are just like you with this program. And if I owned a business like yours, I would do it this way. But what do you want to do, right? I'm leaning them in a direction that I would go or what other people have done in their mind. And then I'm saying, but it's ultimately your decision. What do you want to do, right? So I've leaned them. I've kind of pushed them over to choosing an option. And then they go ahead and get over to that option. They're like, okay, let's do this, right? They point that out. That's my green light. That's my trial close. I'm like, boom, I got you. I know what's happening, right? And at that point, I kind of roll over into my next section. I start looking at the equipment options that they need. I quote them a price on equipment. And then I assume, right? So this is the next section here is always assume the close. Too many people make the mistake, and it ticks me off, of just waiting for the business owner to say, yeah, let's do it. Or they say, so you want to do it? Don't say that shit. That shit's corny. Get that out of there. Don't wait for them either. That's dumb also. Assume the close, right? In your stating of the agenda, you should be going ahead and letting them know as we go along, at the end, I'm going to ask for your business, right? And so if they haven't stopped you at all, right? And if they've given you their business insurance, and if they've gone ahead and given you a couple of referrals, well, guess what? It's a done deal. Assume the close. Ask them for their business license, their driver's license, their voided check. Go ahead and assume the close, start filling out the application, and get it done. The way that my close always goes is I'll say, hey, Mr. Merchant, thank you so much for your vote of confidence. I really appreciate this. All I need you guys to do right now to get something like this started is to go grab a voided check, your business license that's hanging over there, right on that wall over there. I'll need you to go ahead and also get a copy of your driver's license. While you're gathering that stuff for me, I'm going to fill out the application. I'm going to put everything that we spoke about into writing. That way it's not just words in the wind. I'm sure you want to see everything in writing. After that, you and I will cover everything. Once we cover everything, as long as we're still on the same terms and it's everything that we agreed to verbally is in writing, we're going to go ahead and get this executed, and we'll autograph the application. And then right after I do that, okay, so now I'm not with the merchant anymore. I'm talking to you guys again. Right after I do that, I'm going to start painting the picture on what happens after I go ahead and get their document signed, okay? So that's going to go like this. Hey, then after we go ahead and get all of this finalized, it's pretty simple. Next step, you don't really do anything. within the next 7 to 10 days, your equipment's going to be out here. Once your equipment gets out here, we're going to go ahead and get back out here, get everything set up for you, installed for you. I'll have your menu and everything in there. That way you don't have to do any of that stuff. And at that point, you're off to the races. You're off to getting X, Y, and Z from me. So the savings, or if you promise them a better POS station, there's the benefit. You're going to state whatever you used as like the benefit to move forward today on. You're going to state that at the end of saying these are the next steps when you're painting the picture, okay? That's how my close goes. Last but not least, you need to be sold on the product yourself. So you're never going to do any of this hardcore closing shit if you're not completely sold on the product yourself. You have to know what you're doing is the right thing. You have to know that getting this person on cash discounting or on Interchange Plus or on a tiered structure is the right thing for them to do. You know that. You know you're going to take care of them better than anyone else, or you know that you have the best service, or you know that you have the best equipment. Whatever it may be, you need to be completely sold to yourself. Again, rolls back to the word enthusiasm. Well, what's the last 4 letters of the word of enthusiasm? IASM. I am sold myself, okay? You have to always remember that before steps 1 and step 2 of this will ever help you in a sales scenario in closing deals. All right, ladies and gents, that's all I got for you today, Slayers. Let's get out there. Let's make it happen. Remember, while you're out there in the field, ABC, always be closing. Have a great day, ladies and gents.